This Cooking for CASA benefit featuring Chef Claire Criscolo leading a cooking lesson from her home kitchen here this evening. CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates, volunteers appointed by judges to help determine and advance the best interests of children who've experienced abuse or neglect. Claire?
Thank you so much, Josiah, for this opportunity. It's wonderful to feel that I could help the children in some small way. And this is really important. I have a history with CASA from years ago, so it's wonderful to be back and help. So I hope we have fun tonight, and I'm sure we will. Thank you.
As you'll hear tonight, Connecticut CASA is part of the proven National CASA network with programs in virtually every state and almost 100,000 volunteers serving nearly 300,000 children around the country. CASA programs like ours recruit, screen, train, and support these caring, consistent advocates. Not only do these volunteer advocates get to know children through regular visits and build a relationship with them, CASA volunteers also work in partnership with professionals, including social workers, attorneys, educators, health providers, and others to support children and their families. Periodically, CASA volunteers make evidence-based reports to judges to help inform their decisions about children's welfare. The CASA approach is associated with better outcomes for children, including less time in foster care, better educational attainment, improved social emotional health, and enhanced services for families. In Connecticut, CASA volunteers are appointed both in foster care cases and in those involving what's known as protective supervision, when children are still with their families. The hope is that they'll be able to remain there if sufficient stability is achieved. That isn't always possible, but reunification is always the goal, or a secure adoption if necessary. Whatever the individual circumstances, the CASA movement aims for every child to have a safe, permanent home with the opportunity to thrive. Before Claire begins her lesson, let's meet two of our dozens of trained Connecticut CASA volunteers already. Sandy Triniqui was part of our first cohort of volunteers and was appointed to the very first case as the pandemic began. She, working in tandem with another committed member of that initial cohort, Audrey Latouf, has steadily advocated on behalf of two siblings who were in foster care with medical and educational concerns, a steady focus of their efforts. Dwayne Jackson is a CASA volunteer from our second cohort, and he's currently on two cases involving two siblings each. As you'll see later, he's also appeared on our YouTube channel and on a podcast, speaking about his experiences and why he was drawn to the CASA movement. Let's also introduce a member of the Connecticut CASA Board of Directors. She's one of 18 individuals lending their time, talents, and treasure to building and guiding our organization. That's Becca Allen, who's a foundation professional, also recognized as one of the Connecticut Foster Parents of the Year for 2021. And she's taken the lead with Claire in planning this event. Becca?
Oh. Hi, I'm Becca Allen. I'm a very proud board member. I wholeheartedly believe in the mission of CASA, and I am constantly impressed with the work of the volunteers they do with and on behalf of kids in care. And I'm excited to introduce Sandy.
I am Sandy Triniqui. I've been with CASA almost 2 years. I was part of the first cohort of volunteers to come through the New Haven office with Josiah. And my CASA child was here in East Haven, not too far away. And it's really been a very fulfilling volunteer experience for me, seeing him and finding the areas where I think I can really advocate for him. And maybe things that kind of fell through the cracks, I think I'm there to kind of pick up the ball and keep things going in a positive direction.
And also Dwayne Jackson.
Hello, my name is Dwayne Jackson. Excuse me, I've been with CASA now for 1.5 years. as Josiah mentioned earlier, I am responsible for 2 sets of kids. All of them are under the age of 11. And in my dealings with these children, I spend most of my time, as most CASAs typically do, in terms of observing their conditions, their living conditions, gauging to what extent they're thriving in their current environment, and ultimately making recommendations on where improvements could occur and path forward in terms of either having the child rejoin the parent if they're separated from the child, or discontinuing or terminating the supervised situation that they may be under.
And I think now Becca is going to introduce Claire to begin our cooking lesson.